Greetings, my dear humans, this is Spino. Welcome to my kingdom, and welcome to another installment of Spino Reads, where I read some of the wildest, hottest, and most iconic and bizarre Reddit stories around. Tonight, I'll be reading 3 stories from Am I the Asshole? So without further ado, let's begin. Tonight's topic is r/Am I the Asshole? Our first story is, am I the asshole for banning my daughter from Easter over a prank? Throwaway because relevant parties are on Reddit. I, 49 female, have a daughter, Susan, 21 female, who was hospitalized for an extreme medical emergency late last month. Susan was there for 4 days. I visited every day until the last, which happened to be on April 1st. Her roommate and other friends also visited. Oh boy, I see where this is going. On the 1st, her roommate called me crying, saying that Susan's condition suddenly worsened and she passed on. In hindsight, I should have thought something was up, but hearing that in the moment turned me into a sobbing wreck. About a half an hour later, Susan and her roommate came to my house and shouted, "April Fools!" Turns out she was allowed to leave the hospital, and that was how she decided to tell me. I did not know it was possible to be so relieved and pissed at the same time. I called this joke horrible, and I screamed at her and told her she was not welcome into my house for the foreseeable future. Apparently, Susan thought Easter would be an exception. I was hosting this year with a few relatives, and she came in. She still has a key. I made her give it back and once again told her to get the hell out of my house. And while she persisted and was very stubborn about it, she finally left crying. The rest of the gathering was understandably awkward. It's not like I would never forgive her or that I'm going no contact or anything like that, but I'm just too hurt and angry to speak or look at her right now to have any sort of discussion about what happened. She tries to call and text me every day, but I ignored most of them. Our family is split between acknowledging that there are consequences for this, while several others say I need to move on and just forgive her because she still hasn't fully recovered and needs my support. I get that, but I think she's getting plenty of support from other people right now for me to be a necessity. And if she wanted my support, she would not do something so damn cruel. She was always a bit of a jokester, but never like this. It really does not sit right with me at all to just let bygones be bygones right now, but some relatives, including my parents, say I should. I hope I can get some unbiased answers on this, please, apart from family. OP, you are not the asshole. I'll start by saying that I'm sorry for what your daughter's going through right now, but that does not excuse her for committing such a horrible prank on you. Like what you said in the beginning of this paragraph, she's 21. That should be the age for her to know that joking about something like death is not okay. She should have known that there are just some topics you can't joke about, and I've seen many controversial pranks on YouTube which are proof of that. And screw the one side of the family who thought the daughter's prank was innocent and told OP to just let it go and forgive her. Like y'all, OP was left traumatized because she thought she lost her daughter. And let me ask you this, if your child did that, would you like it? In an older video of mine, I've discussed about the death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Losing a child or two is one of the most devastating things any parent could have imagined or have experienced. And I don't blame OP for tearing her daughter a new one. She shouldn't have pranked about something like that in the first place, or at all. But I'll say this, whenever OP is ready, she should talk to her daughter about this, and to just let her know that there are some jokes that shouldn't be made. And she better hope that someday when she has children of her own, that they didn't do the same thing to her. Once again, OP, you are not the asshole. I'm sorry for what your daughter did to you and I wish you good luck. Our second story is, am I the asshole for ruining my sister's boyfriend's proposal? This is a throwaway account because I don't want my family to find this. I, 26 female, was invited to my grandparents' 54th wedding anniversary along with the rest of my family. My 28-year-old sister brought along her 39-year-old boyfriend, which wasn't unusual as they've been dating for 3 years now. I never liked him due to their large, in my opinion, age difference. It's just always been really awkward being around him, which may be my fault as I've been cold to him. Our parents don't seem to have any issues with him. Anyways, at their anniversary dinner, my grandpa gave a speech about my grandma, which was really sweet. After his speech, my sister's boyfriend stood up and started tearing up and talking about how much he loved my sister. He then got down on one knee and proposed to her. I thought this was really weird as it was my grandparents' anniversary dinner and it was supposed to be about them. I stood up and cleared my throat at them to try and send them the message that this was not the time or place. I know it probably wasn't up to me to say something, but I never liked my sister's boyfriend and thought this was a really inappropriate setting. My sister's boyfriend then started yelling at me, saying that I was ruining their special moment. My sister just stood next to him with her arms crossed. No one else said anything and we left immediately after. I feel like I've ruined my grandparents' anniversary, and on top of that, made my sister and her boyfriend mad at me. Our mom and dad have yet to say anything, and I can't stop thinking about how awkward the whole situation was. Am I the asshole? Edit. For those asking, my sister's boyfriend was her professor in college, and that's why I initially didn't like him. Edit 2. Sorry for not posting this edit earlier. This morning, my grandma sent out a message to everyone who attended their anniversary celebration. She said that the proposal had not been pre-approved by her and my grandfather, but that she hoped we could all move past such an awkward situation. She also left me a voicemail saying that she understood why I did what I did, and that she agrees with me, but in the future she would like to pass judgment at her own events. Thank you to everyone that commented. I understand that I was in the wrong here. I'm currently at work right now, but if anything else comes up, I'll update here. As for my sister and her boyfriend, not fiancé, they aren't engaged. Her boyfriend took back his proposal and claimed that he was drunk when he proposed. That might make more sense as to why he yelled at me. Okay, so there is a lot to unpack here, but I'll start with the sister and boyfriend. Shame on them for thinking that having a proposal at a wedding anniversary, especially without the grandparents' permission, is okay. It's never okay to propose at someone's wedding or wedding anniversary. The dinner was only supposed to be about the grandparents and grandparents alone. And let me just say the boyfriend's a twit for drinking and getting drunk and trying to propose. And from what I've seen in the comments, with some people saying that OP is not the asshole, to be honest, I have to disagree. What the sister and boyfriend did was scummy, but that doesn't excuse you, OP. Yes, they shouldn't have proposed at an event that was supposed to be about a couple celebrating years of their marriage, but it wasn't your place to butt in. You should have stayed out of it and let the grandparents handle it like what your grandma said. Remember, it's still their event. Stay out of the way and let them take care of it. You have good intentions, OP, but you're still wrong for trying to de-escalate the proposal, but making it more of a spectacle than it should be. And once again, the sister and boyfriend are wrong. At least he took back his proposal, good riddance. So I say that everyone sucks here, except for the grandparents. They weren't wrong as it was supposed to be their anniversary dinner. And you know what, I agree with the grandma. Everyone needs to sort this out and move on. Our final story is, am I the asshole for not sharing my inheritance with my sister since she chose to be adopted? Throwaway account. I, 30-year-old male, lost my mom when I was 5. Despite being so young, I had very vivid and treasured memories of my mom and did not take to my dad dating a year after her death well. My dad recognized that he knew this would be hard for me, but said that as a parent/adult, he knew what was best even if it didn't seem that way at first, and that he'd thank me in the long run. Not long after he married my stepmom Lucy, and when I began to act out over it, my dad said that parenting alone was hard and that my sister Jessica, 28 female, needed a mom. My dad even got my maternal grandparents to tell me that everything would be fine and how I needed to be a good boy. That was enough to get me to behave during the wedding, but once Lucy moved in and started redecorating, I started acting out again. My dad had had enough and just started punishing me whenever I acted out or made Lucy upset, as well as used the "Jessica isn't acting out like this." And to be honest, Jessica was easily pleased and wasn't alive long enough to have the same attachment to our mom as I did. It really upset me when Jessica started calling Lucy Mom, and it really ticked me off when Lucy started referring to me as her son. I always corrected it when she tried that around me. It got worse when I was 8 and Lucy had her own kids because then my dad and her started pushing for adoption. Jessica obviously had no problems with it, but I refused. My dad had my maternal grandparents come in again and tell me that adoption wouldn't be that bad, but I still refused. Lucy and my dad pushed for the adoption anyway, but thankfully the judge listened to my feelings in a private room and denied it. After that, therapy started, but it didn't last, so they tried the "since you don't want to be part of this family, you don't get X or you can't come do Y," but I was too stubborn for that method to work on me. The only one who I felt was on my side was my parental aunt, who kept sticking up for me whenever she'd see what Lucy and my dad were trying to do. So when I turned 18, I went straight to her, It was when I became a legal adult when my maternal grandparents confessed that they were never okay with the situation, but my dad threatened to keep me and my sister away if they didn't show support. I was furious, so furious that I had my surname legally changed to my mom's maiden name, as I wanted nothing to do with my dad and only ever really talked to my parental aunt. Fast forward to now, and my grandma has passed away. Grandpa died in 2020, and according to their will, only their grandchildren are to split a $250,000 inheritance. And since Jessica is legally Lucy's daughter, all she got was a framed photo of my mom and a letter. Jessica doesn't think it's fair and thinks I should share, but I told her to get money from her legal grandparents. My aunt thinks I'm being a bit harsh, so am I the asshole? Edited to add because someone asked. It had been 2 years since the last time she'd spoken to either of my grandparents, while she frequently called and interacted with Lucy's parents. Jessica was never close to my mom's side of the family because she'd rather spend time with Lucy's family and or didn't want to hurt their feelings. Edited to add number 2. Again, since someone asked. When Lucy moved in, she and my dad took down all of my mom's pictures and got rid of her things. I wasn't allowed to keep any pictures in my room, and I would catch heat if I tried to celebrate my mom's birthday, mourn on the anniversary of her death, and get punished if I didn't celebrate Mother's Day the way Lucy wanted me to. So yeah, she wasn't the saint of a woman who stepped in when my mom couldn't to me. Edited to add because I'm starting to see the same thing. 1. I don't blame Jessica for choosing to be adopted. Now, I'm angry at her belief that she should get any money from my grandparents, despite never showing an interest in having a relationship with them when she was 18. They reached out numerous times, but she never bothered, yet has the belief that she's entitled to their money. That is what ticked me off. 2. My mom had a sister who also had kids. I'm not getting the full $250,000. 3. No, I don't expect anyone from Lucy's side to leave me anything, nor would I demand Jessica to share. It would be completely hypocritical. Wow, what a story. I'll begin by saying that I'm sorry for your mother and grandparents, OP. As someone who lost a few loved ones in my life, I know how you feel. But let me add that you have a train wreck of a father here. If he wanted to remarry, fine. But he shouldn't erase the memory of his former late wife like that. I don't get why he got rid of her pictures and her belongings, and told OP off for keeping some of them in his room. And punish him for celebrating her birthday, or for mourning on the anniversary of her death? Like, what the hell is wrong with him? Oh wait, I know why. He's controlling. He's also abusive and manipulative. And screw the stepmom too. I'd say they're both perfect for each other. He threatened OP to keep him and his sister away from their grandparents if they confessed. I see why OP changed his surname to his mom's maiden name. He doesn't want to be part of that family. And as for your sister, OP, sorry to say this, but she's very entitled. Now okay, what you said was a bit harsh, but that doesn't excuse her for wanting some of the inheritance money. If she's no longer their legal grandchild, and if their will says that only their legal grandchildren can get the inheritance, then she shouldn't get any at all. I'm still learning about inheritance, but that's my thought. Please correct me if I forgot something or made a mistake. So I'm gonna go with no, you're not the asshole, OP. I did look at the comments and I saw some that says that you are, even though the verdict said that you aren't. But what do you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comments down below. OP came back with a small update, so let's take a look. My maternal cousins and I had a meeting, and we all agreed that since Jessica couldn't be bothered to speak to or spend time with her grandparents once she was an adult, she doesn't deserve the money. We had our grandma's estate lawyer send out an official letter to Jessica. She said that she would challenge the will, and I told her she's welcome to do so. I am fully prepared to never see or speak to her again over this. Good on you for standing firm, OP. It was your sister's choice to leave the family, but then she wants to be part of the family again for the money? Yeah, she's very entitled. At this point, it's best to cut her off. The same goes to your father and stepmom. They're not worth your time, energy, or mental health. It's your inheritance. Use it to your heart's content. I'm sorry again for everything you went through, and I hope you'll be able to go no contact with these people and take some time to heal. Best wishes, OP. And that should do it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this evening's installment of Spino Reads. And if you want more, please like, share, and subscribe, and click on the bell to be notified for future videos. Ever want to know if you're the asshole or not in a situation? Please comment your stories down below. I'll be looking forward to reading them and give my thoughts out. And until we meet again, my dear humans, farewell.